we end up casting more of those because they're so much fun.
That's true.
TVZ for the win! All right, I'm recording. I tested it. It's working, and I'm going to Alt-Tab to make sure it's really recording, and it is. So this is a TvP against a dude, a man with a plan.
A Twinkie, a toxic Twinkie.
A cuddle.
So, yep, this is
Wait,
TvP.
what was the man with the plan's actual plan? I forget.
I do not know what you were talking about.
You don't remember the man with the plan?
No.
Frank Tuttle or something?
I don't. I can tell you what my plan is.
Okay, go for it.
Which is to essentially do a one-base play, which has been our go-to TvP for a while.
He's opening Pylon, though, so I'm worried about this.
Yeah, which is an excellent opening PVT. Actually, even P versus anything to start with that.
Have you ever watched TL Attack? Team Liquid Attack?
No.
It's
What's that?
Okay, so disclaimer, I would watch anything where In Control just fills time. So that's why I enjoy it. But basically, it's In Control and Hotbit and a guest. In this case, the one that I saw was TLO. And they play against fans. So a bunch of fans watch their stream, and then they like give you a trivia question, and then they create a channel with the answer. So whoever guesses right, the first 10 people, the channel fills up, and then they pick one of them to play against. And then the pros just kind of crush their fans while everyone says, "I love you," and dies. And they
that's basically... Well, go ahead.
They have to give them like funny things to do, and in the one today, In Control was like, okay, you have to build up an army like normal, but when you get to like 160 unit space or something, start massing overseers, and get like 400 overseers, and then just carpet bomb the world with changelings. And he did it, and it actually turned out to be pretty cool because it's like force fields. You just hold position the changelings, and you can't kill them because you have to click each one.
Yeah. Right.
It was pretty cool.
That's cute. Yeah, and in that vein, at PAX East this year, In Control was at the booth, and he was basically casting games that the audience would play against EG members like the Muslim and Stefano and Idra.
Right,
and like you, I'm a big In Control fan. He's really funny, but not only that, he did it for like 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
And he was still funny. Like, we just stand there, and he'd just be on the whole time. It's amazing.
Right.
That guy has just an amazing, energetic, comedic potential.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're watching TvP here. I'm opening 2 racks as I usually do. We were talking about the three of us were kind of debating with Ketrock about how to scout and open. And I'm a fan of sending that first Marine out to scout for a Nexus. And the timing of this Nexus, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this. The timing of the Nexus is really important to me. If that Nexus has started at 4:30 or earlier, that to me is a sign that I can get a lot of damage done by pulling 2 SCVs with my... as soon as my second Marauder pops, if I pull 2 SCVs, excuse me, and then go, an offensive bunker placement can usually do really well. Even if he does have a Mothership Core, by the time I get there, that Mothership Core cannot have enough energy to do a photon overcharge with enough troops to defend and whatever. So that's my benchmark. I don't know if it's like fully accurate all the time, but if it's 5 minutes or 5:30, that to me is a sign that he's probably going to do fine defending, and it's, I shouldn't pull SCVs. I shouldn't expect to get a whole lot done. If I see no Nexus like I did this game, no Nexus by 5:30, that tells me he's one basing or at least doing like a normal expo while he goes for like an Oracle or something like that. So that's my thinking so far.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really played with the overcharge thing enough to get the idea. I've kind of conceded the point that if you're going to do damage, it's before the Nexus is done warping in, Right? If the Nexus finishes and they overcharge it, there's no way 2 Marauders and 6 Marines are going to do anything. So, in my opinion, scouting with the Marine is still fine, and you don't need to check for an early Nexus so much as you need to just check for a Nexus by the time your Marines and Marauders will get there.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with everything else you said.
And I mean, mostly you do want to get a sense of like what he's up to. And here, I mean, he's now revealed his hand at 7 minutes. He's basically doing a... Actually, let's pause and just check army sizes.
It's really unfortunate for him that you're doing the build you're doing, because the build he's doing is designed to punish you for expanding behind 2 bunkers, right? You invest so much money in the bunkers at the front, and he goes around it. But he has to spend tons of money to go around those bunkers that don't exist. So I feel sorry for this guy.
Yep.
He's still going to do a lot of
basically-
damage,
This is
but it's doomed, and he can't retreat, and it sucks for him.
right. Yeah, I mean,
Especially
he's
he cut
picking away at me
workers
here.
at 25 to get this done. So
Exactly.
even if he
So
kills
my
10
workers are
workers,
steadily
you're still
going
going to be
to-
fine.
And this is
spot,
just a
man.
really ideal position for an SCV pull. Like the SCVs are just
Mm-hmm.
great in this sort of a situation, and at this point, it's basically cleaned up. And now, so even though I'm now 5 workers behind, I could have raised that depot. That was a very poor micro's mistake for me. Even though I'm 5 workers behind, I've got the mule, and I'm just kind of ahead. Actually, no, we're about even on tech. I don't have my starport yet. And I'm
It's
only 300
not so
head of
much
damage
that
done.
you're ahead or behind on tech. It's that I guess it is tech. He's got a robo, but it's in your base. He can't do anything with it.
Right.
I feel like he's kind of stuck on stalkers, and that's not good. Once you get your medevac out,
agree.
he's pretty much dead. And he did kill some workers, but that's misleading because you have a bigger income than him. You're Terran, and he's Protoss.
Yeah.
He's Protoss.
This wasn't all in. Like you
Yeah.
said, he cut workers. This is really, he was not
I've
planning
died to
transition
this.
here.
I've died to this plenty of times. And when you die to
Did
this,
you?
it's when you get a command center, or when you build multiple bunkers on the low ground, or when you get your factory too early because you think that you're safe or something. But if you're just going really army heavy, like Nick was here, there's no way it's going to do anything.
Yeah, and this is, it's builds like this that reinforce my desire to continue to one-base TvP.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, like getting Protoss is so difficult to scout effectively. Like, you can check gases, but it's so hard to find proxies. It's so difficult to really estimate whether he's putting that gas into DTs or mortals. And if you're a pro, you can definitely, and you're playing against really high-level players, you can make a lot of determinations and educated guesses about what they're doing. Like, if you see a lot of stalkers, like, you can say, okay, he's probably going blink, but
Lift the depots.
It's really difficult to tell for sure.
Siege the tank, load the bunkers,
So-
lift the depots. No!
Not fine.
You are fine, but
I'm
you'd be a
totally
heck of a
fine
lot
coming
more
in
fine
here.
if his zealots couldn't hit anything.
No. I wanted to bait him up here. I would rather he commit to that fight.
Okay.
So we're still, I guess we exchange kind of even there. I'm glad to see this from him because it tells me he's
Right,
just
he's not econ,
double
he's
down
not
and on his
teching.
all in.
As long as he's not going
Right.
to get any
Which is
AoE,
really, like-
we always win. Like it's really hard to lose to
Exactly.
somebody who
Yeah.
doesn't have a Nexus or AoE tech. You need one of those to beat Marines. It's the same as
Yep.
TVZ. Like, if you go all Mutiling, there's just no way you're going to win. You need to splash the Marines. That's their weakness. Their strength is everything, and their weakness is that they're teeny tiny. They're teeny tiny.
So I'm using a scan to kill that observer, which is something I don't usually do, but because I'm going to be mining out soon, I don't really need the extra mule income. I'm feeling
He should
pretty
really
okay
not be
with my army
doing this
size.
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got no other options. Like, he's just kind of saying, well, maybe I killed more workers than I thought. So, yeah, he's pretty much
I
out of
don't know.
options at this point. And it's
I
fun-
guess. I've been
Yeah,
in
I
this.
can, like,
I've
go
been
for,
in this
like,
exact
DPs
situation when I practice foregating against somebody, and then the foregate is held off. They have a bunker at the top of the ramp. I can't go up that ramp anymore, and yet there's nothing else I can really do. If I throw down a Nexus, that's $400 that isn't going to be in my army when they come down the ramp. And if I tech to
Right.
something, but I do feel like this has a 0% chance of success, whereas quick teching to Colossus has like a 20% chance of success. I feel like
I don't know.
banking on tech would be a better option.
But you never know. I mean, because if I had like gone behind his poke, if I had gone econ, if I had like put down a CC or even 2 CCs, then this poke would have done a lot better. So he just, it's hard to tell. I think it's just he had very few good options.
Yeah,
to begin
definitely.
with.
Nothing he did
and
would
after
be
the game,
more than like 20% win rate. But
yeah, right. He even said after the game, he's like, "You basically had a build order win." And I was like, "Yep."
I
That's
agree.
The case. I was one basing, you attacked.
I was
had
one
army,
basing, and you did a weaker one base. Okay.
Right.
It's like when people do a blink stalker all in against me. I'm like, you did that. That was not good for you. You You realize you can
Right.
scout before committing to that one because like you already
Right.
have the the Twilight Council. Just don't research Blink. You scout that I'm one basing. Okay, do something else. High Templar and expand. Anyway,
Yeah.
what buttons?